Hey, Zarina Matcha here. So in the last video, I talked about my writing process for Anne. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the publishing process. So I published my young adult coming of age novel Anne in 2019. After having an 85,000 word draft, I sent it to a beta reader on Fiverr, which is one of my favorite websites where you can hire amazingly talented freelancers for editing, cover design, just about anything. Beta readers are essentially people who will read and give you feedback on your book before you get it professionally edited. They are really amazing and useful if you want someone to reassure you that you're not writing a bunch of nonsense. Many writers say that you shouldn't pay for beta readers. I personally think that there is nothing wrong with paying somebody for their time. It's different if it's a friend or a family member, but I personally think that a person who has no personal ties to you has no reason to read your book for free, unless you're already an established author or you have a small fan base where you can find people who will happily read your work and give you feedback on it. I paid the beta reader around £50 and she gave me a couple pages of feedback, which included advising me to cut down some early unnecessary chapters, and so the final book is now actually 70,000 words, which is a pretty good length for a contemporary young adult fiction novel. She also suggested that I make Anne a little more awkward, so I introduced Anne having a stress-induced stutter to make her appear a bit more uncomfortable and to show her mental health slowly deteriorating. The lady who I paid to edit Anne is called Monica Black. She is amazing. I highly recommend her. I also hired her to edit Around Midnight. She did a much more thorough job than the woman who edited Every Last Psycho for a much better price. She did a 2-pass edit, meaning that she edited Anne, sent it back to me, I read through it, made some changes, and then I sent it back to her for a final proofread. My only issue is that because she is American, she didn't get some of the British slang words or British terminology. So when she edited Around Midnight, I actually sent her a page of British terms, especially British school terms, that are quite prominent to the United Kingdom. So, spring 2019, this was my third published book, and I started getting a little more marketing savvy. I hired a friend of mine as a personal assistant / advisor, and we had lots of Skype consultations. She did help with my mindset and seeing my writing as more of a business. She also gave me advice on my blurbs and on getting a professional sounding email, and she also set me up a mailing list via MailChimp, although I now use MailerLite. She also revamped my website, so if you scroll down you'll see that my website is very nicely laid out, it's very clear. That is all thanks to Kat. She is such a brilliant and amazingly talented person. Definitely helps having people around you who can support you. In 2019 I also got in touch with a finance blogger who let me publish some content on her website, and she gave me some email addresses, so I contacted my newspaper in England and wrote an article for them on internet banking and personal finance of all subjects. Yeah! Aside from having the email list and doing the social media stuff, I still wasn't doing much promo for my books. Kat and I talked a lot about getting me into local schools, and I sent out a lot of emails to different schools, which was unfortunately to no avail. My local library did let me come along there a few times and chat to people. I also started going to poetry nights regularly in London, which was very helpful. Doing a poetry performance or a reading and then sitting down at a table where I had my books available for sale, just saying, hey, you wanna look at my book? I did a lot of that in 2019 at various poetry events in London, which definitely helped my sales. But then 2020 came along and it brought the pandemic, which ironically has been helpful for my author career. I will go into more of that at a later video, so stay tuned. That's great!